The Republicans and Democrats' presidential tickets are now set. And both the Trump and Harris campaigns confirmed this week there will be a debate between the two candidates on September 10th on the ABC network, with possibly more to come. With just 3 short months to go before the November election, Kamala Harris introduced her vice presidential pick, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, at a campaign rally in Philadelphia on Tuesday night.
In 91 days, the nation will know Coach Walz by another name, Vice President of the United States.
Before entering into politics, Walz was a high school social studies teacher and football coach in Minnesota. In 2006, he won a seat in Congress and represented a conservative, rural, and historically Republican district for 12 years before running for governor. He is now in his second term. Walz was also a member of the Army National Guard for 24 years and was the highest-ranking enlisted soldier to ever serve in Congress. Donald Trump's choice to be his running mate on the Republican ticket, first-term Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, was quick to comment on his Democratic rival. Also a veteran, Vance served 4 years in the Marine Corps out of high school before graduating from The Ohio State University and Yale Law School. The author of the best-selling book Hillbilly Elegy, which is about his upbringing, Vance also stakes a claim to knowing something about America's heartland.
We're white guys from the Midwest. I guess there are similarities there. But what's different is the actual ideas about how best to serve people, white, black, or anything else, in the Midwest and everywhere else.
This week, Vance was on the campaign trail making solo stops in some of the same battleground states that Harris and Walz blitzed through, to include Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, and Nevada. The vice presidential candidate's view and record on the life issue of such importance to Catholic voters and how that reflects on the top of the ticket is the focus of this report from our own Mark Irons.
With Minnesota Governor Tim Walz now added to the Democratic presidential ticket this week.
Thank you, Madam Vice President, for the trust you put in me.
I absolutely want to debate Tim Walz.
Catholics can take a closer look at both Walz and Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance and compare them side by side, starting with their faith backgrounds. Walz was raised Catholic. He is now Lutheran. In his first speech as running mate, he spoke about the formative values his parents instilled.
My mom and dad taught us, show generosity towards your neighbors and work for a common good.
Vance is a convert to Catholicism. In November 2023, the U.S. Senator from Ohio appeared on EWTN Pro-Life Weekly and reflected on what he called the fundamental insight leading to his conversion.
It's the fundamental Christian insight that every human being has dignity.
To learn more about some of the issues of concern for Catholic voters, we reached out to organizations that serve as a public policy voice for the church. The Catholic conferences in Minnesota and Ohio spoke about their perspectives. After Minnesota's governor was named the Democratic vice presidential pick, Jason Adkins, the executive director of the Minnesota Catholic Conference, in a public statement assured Walz of their prayers and said, "We are proud to have worked together with him to enact a nation-leading child tax credit and promote the well-being of immigrant Minnesotans. Yet we also have had areas of strong disagreement, including protecting the innocent unborn from abortion, the protection of children from the manifestation of gender ideology, and the importance of parental rights in education. In some areas, such as religious liberty, we've appreciated his willingness to hear our concerns and change course." Regarding Vance, the Catholic Conference of Ohio gave EWTN News In Depth a statement saying, "We have appreciated Senator Vance's expressions of support for a child tax credit and broader assistance for families. Additionally, we appreciated Senator Vance's outspokenness about the dignity of work and the sanctity of life during our campaign to protect unborn children last year." While the Catholic Conference of Ohio mainly focuses on statewide policy, it expressed that Senator Vance has listened to their promotion of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops' policy positions on federal issues, including on areas of disagreement. The statement concluded, "We keep Senator Vance and all the 2024 candidates in our prayers that they will seek a better kind of politics that allows for respectful dialogue with individuals of different political convictions and seeks the integral human development of all, no matter their stage of development or country of origin, even when it's not politically convenient." On the issue of abortion, Vance's position seems to have changed. First, he said this last year while speaking about his Catholic convictions and the dignity of all human life.
And I think that means we have to fight for good wages for people who work hard for a living. That means that we have to fight hard for the vulnerable. That means that we have to fight hard for people who can't access health care, because, of course, hard to live a dignified life when you can't afford basic medicine. But that really means in this moment, I think, fighting for the unborn, the most vulnerable among us, the health care that they need, the legal protections that they need in order to live a full life.
But prior to his selection as Donald Trump's running mate, and around the same time the Republican Party rolled back some of the pro-life language in its 2024 party platform, Vance said he supports access to mifepristone, a drug used in chemical abortions, which made up more than half of U.S. abortions last year, according to the Guttmacher Institute. The Trump campaign defends the 2022 reversal of Roe v. Wade at the Supreme Court. The former president says states should decide on abortion. But Walz doesn't believe Trump.
He said he'd ban abortion across this country, and he'll do it, whether or not Congress is there or not.
Walz has expanded and secured access to abortion in the state of Minnesota. As governor, he signed laws removing abortion restrictions and made it easier for those living outside Minnesota to get an abortion there. He also signed an executive order making it easier for those seeking transgender procedures to access them in Minnesota. Abortion advocates are pleased with Walz's addition to the Democratic ticket. Alexis McGill Johnson, the president and CEO of Planned Parenthood, described her approval, calling the pairing of Harris and Walz a match made at Planned Parenthood. In March, Vice President Kamala Harris visited a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic in Minnesota. Governor Walz stood behind her in support.
So I'm here at this health care clinic to uplift the work that is happening in Minnesota as an example of what true leadership looks like.
The White House said the visit was believed to be the first time a president or vice president has ever visited an abortion clinic. Meanwhile, the group Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America says Kamala Harris and Tim Walz make up the most pro-abortion presidential ticket America has ever seen. It's possible voters will have a chance to see the vice presidential hopefuls go head-to-head in the near future. Both Walz and Vance have expressed their willingness to debate. Mark Irons, EWTN News In Depth.